Hey there, so today I want to return to the wonderful world of comic books, and I want to showcase a comic book that truly knows exactly what we've been saying about quality and on. Now, when I'm talking about this comic book, I want you to catch on a few things. Number one, I want you to think about the reviews that are out there. Number two, I want you to think about the price. And number three, I want you to think about the company. So as far as reviews go, and we will hit this comic book in just a moment, but I really want to show you what's coming up here. G.I. Joe, Sierra Morte, number one review. A dream come true for longtime fans, for better or worse. Another one here, a loving homage to all things G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe, Sierra Morte, number one. Another one here, G.I. Joe, Sierra Morte is pure comic book fun. The last one I want to focus on, normally we see scores of, say, 9 out of 10 or higher. This, it's 4.9 out of 5. Or if you were talking about scoring here, we would be talking about a 9.8. This shows you exactly what is wrong with comics and why people will not trust that. Now, when I was talking about pricing too, I want you to really, truly process the idea. This would cost you $4.99. $4.99 you would be shelling out for the comic book that we are about to see here. And well, when you look at the way that this is scored, it actually had detraction because of the writing or storytelling. That was the thing that they gave it an incomplete score on. Not what I'm going to talk about here too. Now, as we get into this, it starts out looking just like this. And if you ask me what that storyline is about, I couldn't really tell you. Why can't I tell you? Well, look around. I mean, how in God's name do you focus on what the storyline is when it looks like this? It basically looks like I threw a bunch of crayons down and I hope for the best. Actually, when I look at this, it reminds me of something that I might buy at, say, Spencer's and, any mall, any Americana store out there. It would be something that's kind of an abstract rendition. It's almost cartoony to a certain, almost absurd point. And when you think about it, as one viable piece, maybe it would catch your eye. Possibly. I'm not really sure. But as a comic book, yeah. Now remember, too, that this is brought to you by a company that is hemorrhaging money. When I say hemorrhaging money, we're not going to go over all of those. You can turn into other videos. And we don't know the end numbers for 2018 yet. That will come up sometime within February 2019. But right now, we know that this company has lost over $7 million on the year. As in, that's all the money they made, negative $7 million. They actually took a bridge loan for $23 million. And by 2020, they'll owe an additional $20 million more. They're only worth $49 million. So, when you start doing the math there, doesn't quite work out, does it? Now, looking at this here, too, find something that's right here. Really, I challenge you. Find something that you like in the pattern. I'll wait for just a second while I pick apart a few things. Guns? Yeah. What is up with that? Casings? Body type? Yeah. Faces? Backgrounds, lack of coloring, or choice when they decide to color in. The fact that this old dude running here apparently is either a zombie or, we can't have that either. The fact that when we get into backgrounds, well, you can see exactly what's there versus what isn't. This, for example, is supposed to be an action shot. And when you look at it, well, where exactly do you start? I think that this is a beheading. I'm not really sure with the way that swings in. I don't even understand how exactly that's supposed to detail that, from the motion and on. You can see the sword at least hits dude in his face, but what exactly went on with that? And again, looking at the backgrounds here, beautiful stuff, isn't it? And then, again, the choice of leaving this uncolored, again, you can do that, but does that strike you as upper tier professional? Then, like I said, you have this kind of stuff that looks like something you would find hanging up at, say, Spencer's or Hot Topics. You have a guy run in, it looks like that. Looks like he's dressed in his socks. Like I say, look at these guns here. And remember, this is G.I. Joe. I mean, one thing that you should be able to freaking get right are the guns. I mean, when I looked at this, I thought, my God, he must have had a bad day because somebody blew off Hawk's freaking leg here. I mean, it looks like it lost a leg within that. That giant gun, man, the crosses are not even right. I mean, how can you mess that up? How do you do it? And again, these zombies or whatever, I know that they're supposed to be in here saving lives. Man, he needs to give it up. He shouldn't shoot up so much. It's really, really jacking him up. And what's up with these hands? I mean, that looks like something that we would have had in the comic Border Town. If you didn't check that thing out, my God, and look for it soon because, of course, it got pulled off for its own nonsense, but I digress. And when you go in and you look at vehicles as well, I mean, set this up. That is the Baroness. The Baroness there. Oh, Lord, Oh, I don't even know what to think about that. I mean, we have, again, places in comic books that are like this. They should be somewhat shocking and on, and yet they don't work out. Oh, I mean, looking at that gun, looking at that setup, oh, my goodness. It really upsets me to think that this costs $4.99, that this might be someone's first introduction to G.I. Joe, to Cobra, to IDW, to Hasbro. I mean, this could actually be someone's first outing there. But could you imagine that? Could you imagine going into the comic shop and seeing a comic that is $1 above baseline? And this being, that, hey, I want to get into G.I. Joe. Oh, man, what exactly is wrong with this guy here? What exactly happened to him? Was he attacked by a freaking wood chipper? I mean, what's going on? And again, I cannot concentrate on the storyline or what's transpiring because, I mean, look at this. Like, how exactly do I pretend that there's a story going on while something looks like it? How exactly do I get into that? You imperialist stooge! Don't you get sick of being a tool for your corporate overlords? Says the guy who follows a snake-themed cult. Hey, watch that. All right. So, I mean, it's really complex there. Look at that facial expression. Actually, at first I thought that he just had a dopey look on his face. But look, he doesn't even have his eyes colored in. I mean, that is true for him. I'm not going to go through any more of this with you. I'm not going to truly drag it out and go through the entire thing. I might actually do that in a live stream. The point I'm making here is, again, this is not good. It's not good at all. And then to think the way that this was spun again. I mean, if we go back and we look at some of those headlines, this is a dream come true for longtime fans, for better or worse. It's an homage, a loving homage to all things G.I. Joe. Man, how is that? It's pure comic book fun. Oh, man. It's a 4.9 out of 5 or a 9.8 out of 10. Again, don't have the pencils or the pens or the coloring or the lettering detracting. No, it's the writing and the storyline. Oh, my goodness. I mean, I'll look at that. I do understand exactly why people shy away from picking up new products. I understand why those old school fans that were picking up stuff for the longest time have actually dropped off. It's like insult after insult gets okayed. Meanwhile, who's the bad guy in this? Consumers are. I mean, if you look at the people that are in charge, if you look at Chris Rael, the guy who was brought back, he does not like this fandom, this specific fandom. If you want proof of that, go and look at his statements about this fandom associated with Aubrey Sitterson. You can see that he already does not approve of them. He does not appreciate them. And that shines through in this kind of stuff. I mean, that contempt. I mean, why else would you go and actually offer stuff that, again, $5 a pop when people complain about this stuff? Why do you keep doubling and tripling down and on? Oh, but anyhow, you tell me what you think about this. Do you think I'm too mean about it? Do you think when you're going through, you say, "Ooh, I love that style, Tug. Don't know what you're talking about. Man, mark that sucker up to $10. Color me sold." I mean, you let me know what you think. If you like this kind of content too, consider supporting the channel. Go and sub. I mean, that is a definite easy one. I've appreciated people that have come in. We're over 13K. Umbrella loves you and owns you. No, I'm just playing there. Also, like what you like. If you don't like a video, please don't like it. But if you do like that sucker, smack the heck out of it. Thumb up, make it look like, we have a parade of hitchhikers coming down the road. Also, if you want to go further than that, there are links within the description. And considering all the wrong think, yeah, I would definitely appreciate that too. Let me know what you think, though. I love seeing what people think about stuff. If you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. I want to see what you think about this kind of stuff. Again, I could be wrong on something. I would like you to tell me that. If you think that, that's fine. And I want to end on this. As always, I want to say that I appreciate you showing up. You make these channels possible. The thing that these products here have forgotten, I don't ever want to forget. So, ending that, thank you sincerely. I mean it. And, I'll catch you next time.